Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. The Young and the Restless preview week of September 22nd, Victor's deal, Holden's invite, Audra's discovery. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal a preview clip has been released for the week of September 22, 2025. It shows Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, offering a deal to Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn. Get updates on the latest news about The Young and the Restless, straight to your inbox. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising, as outlined in our privacy notice. What is this? Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, invites Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, on a trip. Plus, Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, updates Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Audra Charles's discovery. Let's start off with Audra, who finally returns during the week of September 22nd. In the preview clip, Audra catches up with Sally. Distraught and heartbroken, the redhead tells the brunette that Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, decided something was more important than their company. Audra learns that Abbott Communications was finished before it even got off the ground. With Sally backing out, that means Audra is once again out of a job. Audra Charles's discovery. Audra Charles has built a reputation in Genoa City as a woman who knows how to play her cards close to her chest, but the latest development in her storyline threatens to blow the lid off everything she has carefully constructed. What Audra uncovers next could turn the balance of power upside down, not just for herself but for some of the most powerful players on The Young and the Restless. Her discovery is not only shocking but dangerous, forcing Audra to consider whether she is truly in control or if she has been maneuvered into a trap she never saw coming. Viewers know that Audra thrives on secrets, using them as weapons to climb the corporate ladder or to manipulate those around her. Yet this time, the secret is far more explosive than even she anticipated, tying together family scandals, business betrayals, and romantic entanglements. This big discovery could make her unstoppable, or completely destroy her. At the heart of Audra's revelation lies her connection to the Newman and Abbott families, both of whom have always been locked in a constant struggle for dominance in Genoa City. Audra has managed to insert herself into the mix by aligning with power players, often shifting loyalties when it benefits her most. But unlike some who get tangled in the Newman-Abbott rivalry and fall apart under the pressure, Audra has always emerged sharper, more calculating, and ready to strike again. However, the discovery she makes shakes her confidence in ways audiences rarely see. It begins innocently enough, with Audra digging into a lead about a business deal. What she stumbles upon is a piece of information so tightly guarded that it could unravel legacies. For someone like Audra, who thrives on leveraging information for personal gain, the temptation to use what she's uncovered is undeniable. But the danger is just as great as the reward. Speculation swirls over whether Audra's discovery connects directly to Victor Newman's empire. The mogul has always operated with layers of secrets and strategies, often hiding truths even from his closest allies. Could Audra have stumbled upon a hidden business maneuver, a buried family connection, or perhaps a betrayal within Newman Enterprises itself? Victor has survived decades of enemies, both inside and outside his family, but if Audra holds a piece of leverage that he never expected, then Genoa City could be on the verge of yet another Newman war. Fans of the show know that Victor despises being outmaneuvered, and the idea of a relative newcomer like Audra gaining an upper hand is enough to ignite chaos. Of course, Audra's ties to the Abbott family complicate matters further. Her time at Jabot and her entanglements with Kyle Abbott have left her with more than just romantic scars. Kyle is still reeling from heartbreak and betrayal, and he blames Audra for much of the chaos in his personal life. If her discovery involves secrets tied to Jabot, Kyle may find himself forced to face Audra again, reopening wounds he would rather keep buried. Jack Abbott, ever protective of his family and the company, would not hesitate to challenge Audra if she dares to dangle dangerous knowledge over their heads. The Abbotts are used to enemies circling, but Audra's brand of manipulation makes her a particularly slippery adversary. If she is holding information that could fracture the Abbott stronghold, then all bets are off. What makes Audra's discovery so compelling is the ripple effect it promises to create across multiple storylines. Her presence has already stirred up drama with Tucker McCall, who once counted her as an ally but now views her with equal parts suspicion and desire. Tucker knows better than most that Audra is always chasing the upper hand. If her latest find is tied to his business dealings or his connection to Ashley Abbott, Tucker may realize too late that Audra has the ability to topple his empire. Viewers are keenly aware of Tucker's weaknesses, and Audra has never hesitated to exploit vulnerabilities when it suits her needs. Her decision on whether to use this information against him or keep it hidden could define her next chapter. Romantically, Audra's discovery could also change everything. Her relationships have often been marked by passion and betrayal, but this time the stakes are higher. If she reveals what she knows, she could ruin someone she once cared for. That potential conflict of heart versus ambition adds a layer of depth to her character that fans don't always get to see. Is she capable of sacrificing someone close to her for the sake of advancement, or will she show rare restraint? With Audra, it's nearly impossible to predict, and that unpredictability makes her storyline even more captivating. The looming question is what Audra intends to do with her discovery. Will she weaponize it in true Audra fashion, trading secrets for influence and power? Or will she find herself trapped by the very knowledge she holds, unable to move without risking her own downfall? Genoa City has seen its fair share of schemers, but Audra's brilliance has always been her ability to anticipate moves before anyone else realizes they are in play. The danger this time, however, is that the secret is so monumental it could consume her before she fully grasps its reach. The drama that unfolds from Audra's discovery is bound to weave into every corner of the Young and the Restless canvas. Victor Newman may be forced to launch a counterstrike to protect his empire. Jack Abbott could take drastic measures to defend his family and Jabot. Tucker McCall might find himself cornered in ways he never imagined. And Kyle Abbott could once again be dragged into Audra's orbit, whether he wants to be or not. For fans, this promises to be a thrilling roller coaster of deception, revelation, and shifting alliances. Ultimately, Audra Charles has always embodied the danger of ambition unchecked. Her discovery now places her at a crossroads. She can either rise to a new level of power in Holden Novak's invitation. Over with Claire, she runs into Holden again. The two have a chat, most likely about Claire's issues with Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer. What is this? Holden says if distance is what Claire is looking for, he might be able to help. Then, Holden tells her about his upcoming trip to Los Angeles, asking her to come with him. Audra mentioned that Holden liked to take dangerous risks, and it scared her. It was also the city where Holden had to save Audra from some thugs at the music label. So, I am a bit concerned about what kind of trouble Claire could get in. I'm starting to wonder if Kyle is right to be worried. Holden Novak's invitation. Genoa City has never been short on intrigue, but the arrival of Holden Novak, and more importantly, his mysterious invitation, sets the stage for a storyline that could shift alliances, spark rivalries, and ignite passion in ways fans didn't see coming. Holden is still a relatively new name in town, but his presence has already begun to ripple across multiple storylines, especially given his connection to Audra Charles and his ability to draw others into his orbit. This invitation, shrouded in secrecy and curiosity, is more than just a social gesture. It's a chess move. In Genoa City, no one does anything without a motive, and Holden's invitation threatens to pull key players into a dangerous game where the stakes are personal, professional, and potentially life-altering. From the moment Holden Novak stepped onto the canvas, viewers could sense he wasn't just another newcomer drifting into town. He carries himself with quiet confidence, the type that suggests he knows more than he lets on. When someone like Holden extends an invitation, everyone wonders what lies beneath the surface. Who is really meant to attend, and what does he gain by bringing them together? Is it a private celebration, a business maneuver, or a trap to expose secrets long hidden? In the world of the Young and the Restless, nothing is ever as simple as it seems. The speculation begins with Audra Charles, who has been closely linked to Holden. Audra herself is a woman of secrets, and fans have watched her maneuver her way through the powerful Newman, Abbott, and McCall webs. If Holden's invitation directly involves her, then audiences can expect fireworks. Is Holden using this moment to lure Audra into a deeper alliance, or is he setting her up for a fall? Their chemistry has been undeniable, and their pairing offers new layers of intrigue. However, both are cutthroat in their ambitions, which makes them as likely to betray one another as they are to join forces. An invitation from Holden to Audra could signify the beginning of a dangerous partnership, or the start of their undoing. But Holden's moves rarely affect just one person. Word of his invitation quickly raises questions across Genoa City's most powerful circles. Kyle Abbott, still wrestling with personal turmoil and corporate drama, could find himself uncomfortably entangled if Holden intends to use this invitation as a way to dig into Jabot. Kyle has already had his fair share of battles with Audra, and Holden's connection to her makes him a natural enemy in Kyle's eyes. If Holden dares to extend an invitation to Kyle or those close to him, it could reignite feuds that were beginning to simmer down. Jack Abbott, protective as ever of both family and business, would be on high alert, wary of Holden's sudden influence. Meanwhile, Tucker McCall, always one step ahead in plotting his next move, likely sees Holden as both a threat and a potential asset. Tucker has a long history of leveraging newcomers to achieve his goals, but Holden is not the type to be easily manipulated. If Holden's invitation includes Tucker, or worse, Tucker's estranged connections through Ashley Abbott, then the fallout could bring painful family wounds back to the surface. For Tucker, Holden represents the kind of disruption that could either help him destabilize his enemies or destabilize him completely. Of course, Victor Newman looms large over everything in Genoa City. The mustache doesn't take kindly to outsiders shaking up the balance of power, and if Holden has the audacity to extend an invitation that somehow touches Newman Enterprises, Victor will demand answers. Is Holden foolish enough to poke the bear, or is he bold enough to believe he can outplay Victor at his own game? If the invitation somehow involves Victoria, Nick, or even Claire Grace, then Victor's wrath could be immediate. Fans love watching Victor crush adversaries, but the allure of Holden Novak is that he doesn't seem like the type to be easily intimidated. What makes Holden's invitation so fascinating is its mystery. Where is it taking place? Why now? And most importantly, who exactly is on the guest list? A small, exclusive affair could mean Holden intends to strike a personal blow, while a grander event might signify his desire to establish dominance in Genoa City. Either way, viewers know that anyone who accepts Holden's invitation is stepping into dangerous territory. The moment they walk through the door, alliances could be tested, relationships shattered, and secrets exposed. Romance, too, is bound to play a part. Holden's brooding charm has already caught attention, and his ties to Audra make him a man of intrigue. If the invitation is meant to lure her into a more intimate setting, then fans may witness a romance that blends seduction with manipulation. But what if another woman in town receives that same invitation? Could Sally Spectra, Sharon Newman, or even Summer Newman find themselves drawn into Holden's world? If so, the tangled web of jealousy and betrayal could spark an entirely new rivalry. The drama of Holden Novak's invitation lies not just in the event itself but in the ripple effect it creates. Every major player in Genoa City has something to lose, and Holden's calculated move ensures that once the invitations are received, no one will feel safe. It's the type of storyline that promises to unfold in shocking twists, leaving fans guessing about Holden's true motives. Is he an ally to some, a threat to others, or simply a man on a mission of his own making? What we know for certain is that the young and the restless thrives on outsiders who disrupt the status quo, and Holden Novak is proving to be one of the most intriguing additions in years. His invitation marks a turning point not just for him, but for every character drawn into his orbit. The fallout could reshape power structures, break apart families, and ignite battles that rage long after the party ends. One thing is certain, no one will forget the day Holden Novak's invitation arrived in Genoa City. Victor Newman's deal. The Young and the Restless spoilers for next week reveal that the preview clip also features Victor. It seems that the patriarch offers Kane some kind of deal. What is this? While Kane says he will think about it, that's not good enough for the mustache. Victor declares that Kane doesn't have long to decide. The minute that Victor walks out the door, the deal is off the table. That will force Kane to make an instant decision. Not a whole lot of time to think or strategize, so I wonder what he will decide. With so many people getting roped up in the Kane storyline, I wonder what the outcome will be. While Kane is deceiving people and carrying a lot of secrets, I am one that thinks Victor should be taken down several notices, so stay tuned. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of September 22, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. Victor Newman's deal. When Victor Newman makes a deal, Genoa City stops to pay attention. For decades, the mustache has cemented himself as the most powerful force in town, a man whose every move carries ripples across families, companies, and relationships. His deals are never straightforward, they are layered with strategy, manipulation, and an uncanny ability to see 10 steps ahead of everyone else. This time, however, Victor's deal is more than just another business maneuver. It's a life-altering choice that could redefine his family's legacy, test loyalties, and spark rivalries in ways the residents of Genoa City have never seen before. Viewers who have followed Victor's rise and reign know that his business brilliance is only matched by his ruthless edge. A Victor Newman deal is never just about money. It's about power, control, and survival. And his latest negotiation may be one of the boldest yet. At the heart of Victor's deal lies Newman Enterprises, the empire he built brick by brick, often through sheer willpower and an iron fist. Though his children, Victoria, Nick, Adam, and even Abby, have each fought for their place within the company, Victor has always made it clear that he alone decides the direction of the dynasty. His new deal, however, has the potential to shift not only the business landscape but also the delicate balance within his family. Is Victor forging a partnership that strengthens Newman Enterprises, or is he secretly creating divisions that will pit his children against one another? For Victor, family and business are often indistinguishable, and that truth makes this new deal especially dangerous. Speculation swirls that Victor's latest maneuver might involve a merger, acquisition, or a bold takeover. Some whispers suggest that he has his eye on Chancellor Winters, seeing opportunity in the ongoing turmoil between Devon, Lily, Billy, and Jill. Victor has never been shy about exploiting weakness, and Chancellor Winters' infighting could make them ripe for a power play. Others believe that Victor's deal ties into Jabot, especially with Kyle Abbott's growing defiance and Jack's constant struggle to keep his company afloat amidst sabotage and betrayal. Could Victor be aligning himself with an Abbott, or plotting to dismantle them entirely? Yet another layer to this story is Adam Newman, who always seems to find himself caught between wanting his father's approval and resisting Victor's manipulations. If Victor's deal includes Adam, it could reignite long-buried resentment. Adam wants to prove himself as more than a pawn in his father's games, but time and again, Victor has used him to achieve a larger agenda. Will Adam finally refuse to play along, or will this new deal be his chance to finally step into the role Victor has long teased but rarely delivered? Of course, Victoria Newman is never far from the center of her father's corporate maneuvers. As CEO of Newman Enterprises, she has battled tooth and nail to maintain her authority, often clashing with her siblings in the process. If Victor's deal undermines her position or shifts power elsewhere, Victoria will not stand by quietly. She has inherited Victor's ruthless streak, and any move that threatens her control could unleash a storm of family conflict. Nick, on the other hand, has often distanced himself from the corporate wars, but he may be dragged back into the fray if Victor's deal puts the family's values, or their safety, at risk. Victor's deal doesn't just have business implications, it has deeply personal consequences as well. Nikki Newman, forever the heart of the family, may question whether her husband's relentless pursuit of power is worth the toll it takes. Time and again, Nikki has pleaded with Victor to consider family harmony over empire building, yet his hunger for control always seems to prevail. This new deal may force Nikki to confront just how much she is willing to accept, and whether her role as Victor's greatest supporter has turned into his enabler. Beyond the Newmans, other Genoa City residents have reason to worry. If Victor's deal encroaches on Tucker McCall's territory, sparks are sure to fly. Tucker prides himself on being a master manipulator, but Victor has outplayed men like him for decades. The clash between these two titans could redefine corporate power in Genoa City. Likewise, Jill Abbott will not take kindly to Victor threatening Chancellor Winters, and her fiery nature ensures that she will meet him head-on if he dares to disrupt her legacy. The intrigue of Victor Newman's deal also lies in its secrecy. Victor rarely reveals his full hand until it's too late for his opponents to counter. That's why every whisper, every closed-door meeting, and every mysterious phone call sends shockwaves through town. Everyone wants to know, what exactly is Victor Newman planning, and who will be caught in the crossfire? For fans, that suspense is what makes Victor one of the most compelling characters in soap opera history. His unpredictability is his greatest weapon, and his latest deal feels like the setup for a storm that could consume the entire canvas. Romance may even play a role in this deal, as Victor has long used personal relationships as bargaining chips. Could his maneuver somehow impact Sharon, Sally, or even Audra Charles? Each of these women has ties to Newman men, and any disruption in the balance of power could create emotional fallout that no one saw coming. Genoa City has always blurred the lines between boardroom and bedroom, and Victor knows better than anyone how to leverage both. Ultimately, Victor Newman's deal is about more than money or contracts. It is about legacy, dominance, and the eternal question of who will carry the Newman torch into the future. Will Victor secure his empire for generations to come, or will his latest gamble set in motion the downfall he has fought so hard to avoid? The answers may not come quickly, but one thing is certain: in Genoa City, when Victor Newman makes a deal, nothing will ever be the same again.